Hi everyone! Thank you so much for clicking to watch this video. If you're new here, my name is Sandy and on this channel we talk about pursuing a career in interior design and I give you home decor tips. Today's video is on the home decor side because we are talking about layouts for your living room. Big, small, rectangular, square. I'm going to show you some tried and true methods to get that layout right. So here we have our first layout, and this is a pretty big living room. In fact, let's go to the floor plan view. It's 25 by 19. And not everyone has a big space, but big spaces can be challenging. So for those of you who do, I definitely wanted to include one of those in there. And I've gone with a pretty neutral style, this kind of like organic modern that's really popular now. This is, echoes that. And what I've done with a big space here to make it a little bit more challenging is if we go into the top-down view, there are two entryways. So a lot of time is spent going in and out of this room because it's a pretty heavy traffic area. And then there's a window. So you don't want to cover that window. It's a pretty big window. So there's only one uninterrupted wall in this space, and that's a problem that a lot of people have in common. There's really no opportunity to immediately put your sofa against the wall. And you have to float your furniture. So what do? Do you make one giant living room? No, you split it up into three separate spaces. So this looks like one big unit, but it actually is three different spaces, and I'm going to get into how and why I separated it in the way that I did. One of the first things I did was I decided what this area was going to be used for. I decided I needed a work area. I decided they were going to watch TV. I decided I was not going to block the traffic that happens here, where you need to walk back and forth. So there needs to be at least 3 feet of space. And I have a ample space. And please keep in mind, this is not a full design. This is just the bare bones of it. You would probably still need some more plants, maybe a bookcase, some decor, lamps, lighting. This is just about furniture placement for now. So what I went in and did is I approached this room with symmetry. And I decided, we need to watch TV, we need to have sofas, a comfortable seating, and we need to work from home office. And this might also be a space for entertaining. So keeping that in mind, I took the sofas and I made them face each other. You also, if you wanted to, could make an L. So you could take a sofa and put one here and the other one there, depending on how much time you spend in this room. If this is the main room that everyone's watching TV in, you may want to do an L-shaped sectional. But just for symmetry's sake, I went and I did this. I know not a lot of people like watching TV in this side style, but this layout could easily work with just flipping one of the sofas the other way. The reason I did it this way is because it makes it easier to split it up into 3 different sections. So over here, we have our desk. We put the desk on the back of the sofa. Not only does the desk act as another surface, so when someone's not using it, the desk, you can sit here and then put your drink on this side, or you can also set your drink down or your plate or board game, whatever it is that you're working on here. So you have 3 surfaces that are within easy access: behind you, in front of you, and your side table here. One of the top mistakes that people make is not having enough surfaces. So I actually have a video about like common mistakes that people make in their living room, and you can go check that out. But living room layouts are one that really get people. So I want to show you guys one that was really big. Here on this side, we also have a bench. So say you entertain a lot, people can also sit here. And who knows, maybe this is close to the entryway and there's not a full entry. So you want to sit down to put on your shoes, take off your shoes, whatever it is that you need to do. But this creates extra seating, and you have this area where you can watch TV. I wanted to balance this area out layout wise with large pieces of art that were next to the TV. So that way it looked, even though they're not TVs on either side, it gives the wall this nice statement look without this actually being a full statement wall. And then double plants for symmetry. Of course, added some curtains. This is just a great, simple way to lay out a large room. And please keep in mind, you can also lay out the furniture a little bit differently, but dividing up into sections is the main point I really want to get across in this living room. You don't just have to have one living room here. And the coffee tables, I definitely have to mention that. A lot of people would, I see this a lot. A lot of people would do something like this, and then let's move one of these out. And then they'll be like, oh, I have a coffee table, great. So let's see what that looks like. This is not a lot of space. So you might feel like this is enough, but you actually need either 2 coffee tables or a big coffee table. You need a big coffee table because everyone who's sitting, let me zoom in here. Everyone who's sitting here can't comfortably reach this or comfortably reach from over here. So by having it the other way, let's undo and add it back in. So by adding both in, you're giving more surface area. And I went with 2 circle tables instead of a rectangular table just to change the shape up. The room is pretty square, rectangular, and then everything else is square and rectangular. There's just a lot of linear shapes going on, so adding some circular shapes helps break it up. Now let's get into layout 2. I wanted to include something that was much more small and realistic to what I'm seeing with a lot of apartments. A lot of apartments are shaped like this. Normally, there would be the kitchen over here, and then you walk in, the entryway's here, and then there's a door, a 1-bedroom apartment, you go into your room here, and then the patio door might be, who knows, over here, or there might be a giant wall of windows, especially for those of you who are all with the That Girl vlog. So cute. I love seeing it on social. And a lot of you have living rooms that are very, very similar to this, where it's like long and rectangular. And I wanted to show you a way to take this exact same style but into this apartment in a way that's more realistic for this. So I still kept the work from home aspect in this, and I wanted to add a little bit more storage. I didn't go with one of these because they're a little big and might be overpowering for the space. There's not a lot of vertical storage or use of vertical space in this room because it doesn't necessarily need it. But in rooms like this, you may want to make more use of vertical space. So I went with a taller desk, for example. So you have these shelves that if you need to work from home. And then we have, I added in closed storage with this sideboard that still matches the aesthetic and a bookcase, a tall bookcase for vertical storage. So you could do books, you could make it into a wet bar if your kitchen doesn't have an area for you to do that. And with the coffee table, I kept the round shapes because there's, again, a lot of linear going on here, but I made these two are actually ottomans. So if you entertain a lot, you can move them. People can sit on them. And if you get a tray and put it on top, then you'll have a hard surface for writing. You'll have a hard surface for putting your drink or your plate down. Also added 2 side tables on either side and then a mirror to reflect. We can see there's a big mirror up here. One thing I want to make clear is that we want to use the right size of mirror and scale. My video about furniture mistakes that people make addresses scale, and I give you guys some examples about when I see that done incorrectly. Okay, so back over here, we've also added some lighting. I made sure to fill this corner with something. You could also put a plant here, but this light makes sense if you're going to have your outlet here. So pay attention to your outlet placement. And I put lighting over here on this side. One thing with lighting, you want to make sure it's within reach because we want it to be convenient to you. So if you're watching TV, let's go back over here. Let's see. Here we go. If we are watching TV and we don't want to get up to turn off the overhead light, you can just reach over and get your table lamp. A lot of people feel like, oh, I have overhead lighting, I have a fan, I don't need to have lamps. Yes, you need lamps. No questions. This is non-negotiable. Please get lamps. Another key thing I want to address with this layout is if we go into the floor plan view, you'll notice that I've accounted for the doorways. So this doorway swings in and has enough room for these doors to swing in. This probably is where your balcony is. And this one swings into the bedroom. Most bedroom doors do swing in. If it swung out, even if it did swing out, let's actually go and click it and make it swing out. I would either get a smaller lamp or not put anything in this corner. So that way it didn't continuously hit something. So these are things to think about. Please pay attention to your door swings. Moving on to the third layout. This is a square room for those of you who have those situations. And let's see, it's 15 by 15, fully square. Let's head into the top-down view. The challenges in this room are that this door swings out and there's a full walkway here. There we go. Full walkway. I'm going to zoom out a little bit here. So this room, you need to watch TV. You don't want to block the window or the walkway. I brought back in one of these larger credenza sideboard pieces, and the TV can go on top of it. One thing you do want to keep in mind when you put a TV directly across from a window, the way that we're doing, is you may want to add some shears to block the glare that you would see on the TV as a result of the window being there, depending on like what time of day it is. And I added in a chaise. There really isn't room here for me to add another chair for somebody to sit in. So adding a chaise gives you an option for more seating, because normally, for example, I have a sofa like this. We can fit about 4 to 5 people on it, depending on how comfortable they are, how well we know each other. We're usually comfortable sitting in close quarters. Over here, I added a bookcase instead of that's open instead of one of the closed ones, because this room's a little bit smaller or a little bit shorter than the other one. So I didn't want to put a closed piece that might feel a little bit more claustrophobic. I added in a side table and lighting over here because like I said, we want more than just overhead lighting. Also, people are generally scared to put furniture in front of windows. That is a-okay in this situation, because even if this window went down to the floor, there's so much light coming in here, it wouldn't matter. You also want to keep in mind that if these windows did go all the way to the floor, generally sometimes your furniture and upholstery can be at risk for sun damage depending on the kind of fabric that it is. The key points here are that it allows a full walkway through, and it gives you your opportunities for storage, and it gives you opportunities for maximal seating. You may also add the ottomans the same way I had before to add extra seating if you needed to, or if you wanted to do an open credenza or sideboard here, maybe you just want to do a long console table, then you could put ottomans underneath it. So that's another option. There are so many ways that you guys can do these different layouts. And that concludes today's video. Thank you so much for clicking to watch. I hope this was helpful to you. Let me know if one of these layouts is similar to your home, or if you have a funky layout that you would like help with, like an angled fireplace, or maybe there's not a lot of windows, just so many issues that you can run into layout wise. I always love hearing your feedback, and please let me know if you guys like these videos, because I really like making them for you. And like I say at the end of all of my videos, Beyonce said, if you like it, put a ring on it. I say, if you like it, subscribe. If you like it, then you should have subscribed to it. Hit that subscription button. That's the ring I need. So once you subscribe, we're bound in holy matrimony. Okay, you and I, don't be playing the field with these other channels. Stop dating those other channels and like marry my channel, all right? Because most of you who watch these videos are not subscribed. And it would mean a lot to me if you would subscribe. Join the family. Bye.